So this afternoon, it's time for my number 30 in the best rock albums of 2023. And it's by a British band who've been around, quite literally, for donkey's years. But over those donkey's years, they appear to have got better and better and better. And so the record I'm talking about is Uriah Heep, Chaos and Colour, which obviously came out early this year, and I've been listening to it pretty much ever since. Whenever they release something, I always listen to it. And obviously I've heard a lot of the early stuff, and I do like them. The first thing that always comes to mind when I hear Uriah Heep, actually there are two things. The first one is the terrible review that somebody in America gave them on one of their records, on one of their live shows, where he said, if this band make it, I'm going to have to kill myself. Well, they didn't make it, so who knows what happened. The second thing always comes to mind is Deep Purple and how much they sound like Deep Purple. And the older they've got, the more they sound like older Deep Purple, if that makes any sense. So Bernie Shaw, the singer, sounds just like Ian Gillan does in 2023. But one thing I would say about Heep is they're heavier. They are heavier. Now this record, Chaos and Colour, is the 25th. The 25th record by this band. Can you imagine having a back catalogue like that? It's not all good. Some of it is renownedly terrible. But lots of it is great. They are professionals, true professionals. So who do we have actually in the band? Mick Box, guitar, backing vocals, the ever-present Mick Box. Phil Lanson on keyboards. Bernie Shaw, the great Bernie Shaw on vocals. He's been there since about 86 now. Russell Gilbrook on drums. And Dave Rimmer on bass guitar. Now, the thing about Bernie Shaw is he is as old as the hills, but he sounds great. Out of all the older, more mature guys still singing in rock bands, I think he's the best I've heard. Ian Gillan's voice is starting to wane a little bit, but Bernie Shaw's voice is still very, very strong. Exceptional. So what songs do we have on there? Some great ones, I'll tell you that. Absolutely excellent ones. Starts off with Save Me Tonight, which is alright. Silver Sunlight, alright. Hail the Sunrise, okay. Age of Changes, not bad. Then we get into the good stuff. It seems to be a back-heavy album, this one. The first group of songs, the first 4 songs are okay. They're good, solid rockers. Then we have Hurricane, which is really good. Then we have an exceptional One Nation, One Sun, which is keyboard heavy and is a bit of a rock ballad. Bernie Shaw on this though is sounding superb. He really is sounding good. Then we have Golden Light, which neither here nor there. Then we have an 8-minute epic of You'll Never Be Alone, which is a bit of a fantasy epic by the band. Absolutely superb song. Worth the entrance fee alone. Excellent. And then it finishes off with a thing called Freedom to Be Free, which is really, to be honest with you, quite forgettable. So if I was going to give it marks, I would give it 3 out of 5. I do like the cover. Chaos and Colour. Good sleeve that. You can see it with this on. Excellent. So yeah, it's a good, solid record. Not as good, I don't think, as the stuff they did in the 70s. But most of the legacy bands aren't making stuff that is as good as it did as they made in the 70s. They're just not. Nobody is. And as far as the charts go, actually, it's done okay around the world. Yeah, there's a couple of number ones on here, but they're smaller charts. UK independent albums number one. UK rock and metal albums number one. US Billboard 69. UK albums, just straight albums, 73. Scottish albums, I don't know what this thing about Scotland is. It's not a separate country. Number 4. German albums number 4. Austria number 10. So it's done all right. There's no mention of how many it's sold around the world. I don't think it's that many. Sadly, a band like this are not going to get a lot of attention. Not positive attention anyway from the media, because they're so up themselves, the media that is. So, that's just my little opinion there. It is a good record and you should hear it. If you haven't, you think they haven't been any good since the David Byron days, well, you're wrong, because this is a good record and you should give it a listen. So that's my number 30 for the best rock albums of 2023. Uriah Heep, Chaos and Colour.